Look, if you remember the old iconic OnePlus flagships, you'd know that they were all about performance, speed. And it looks like OnePlus is going back to that old OnePlus with this, the new OnePlus 15. Yeah, this is the Indian variant of the OnePlus 15. And I know this looks nothing like the recent OnePlus flagships we've seen. There's a full-on design change, some big upgrades, and I know everyone's talking about the cameras not being an upgrade, so what's the truth? Look, I've been using the new OnePlus 15 for over a month now, so I'm going to answer all of your burning questions, so settle down, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and let's find out how settled or unsettled the OnePlus 15 is. Okay, so let's start off with what is the biggest visual change in the new OnePlus 15? Obviously, this newish design. Yeah, this is what the OnePlus 15 looks like. Flat display, flat sides, rounded corners, and a wide frame, nothing like the OnePlus 13. Now, the Infinite Black and the ultraviolet colors have caught in Gorilla Glass 7i with a 2.5D curve, but the Sandstorm we have here is completely flat, and this back is fiberglass, which means it's a bit slimmer, lighter, a bit more durable, and like this pale dune finish looks very clean and minimal. Now, the frame is interesting. It has a special ceramic-like coating called micro arc oxidization, and actually feels very smooth, very different, not like your usual metal, more like some alloy or that premium granite slab in your kitchen counter. Get it? The camera design has changed to say goodbye to the circular camera island and hello to this new cute face we've seen on the OnePlus 13s. And yeah, no Hasselblad branding. Now, some are loving this clean, minimal design. Some are saying it's a bit too plain, too mainstream, but I personally kind of like it, but you guys tell me. Now, what's great about this design is that this is 8.1mm thick, down from 8.9mm in the 13, and weighs the same, around 210 grams. And don't get me wrong, this is still a big phone, feels bigger with that flat design. But what's really awesome is that this is packing a massive 7300 mAh battery, not something we've seen in flagships yet, and the battery life has been insanely good. I mean, with my usual mix of Wi-Fi, Airtel 5G, I got around 7.5 hours of screen on time on a full day use, and this had 2 hours of heavy gaming, lots of YouTube, Netflix, and social media. They're really solid, and day-to-day moderate usage, this should easily last around 10 hours, which is insane. Charging is also faster now. You get the 120-watt SuperVOOC charger in the box, which takes the phone from 0 to 50 in about 20 minutes, full charge around 45 minutes. There's also 50-watt wireless charging supported, but yeah, you'll obviously need the AirVOOC charger for that. And I was kind of expecting this to have, built-in magnets for magnetic charging, but no. But yes, OnePlus is selling this magnetic case, which kind of looks cool. Anyway, coming back to the design, this is IP66 rated, IP68 rated, and it's IP69 rated, but that's not all. It's even IP69K rated. Here's the most complete IP ratings we have seen. That means it can handle high pressure, high temperature, hot water jets. And yeah, this can actually go deeper to up to 2 meters versus 1.5 on the OnePlus 13 and most of the flagships. You get the new Plus key. Now move over the Plus key and you get an IR blaster on the top, a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-C port, 3 microphones, an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner that works in one tap every single time, dual SIM with eSIM support, Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6, so everything is very flagshipy. Now, another big change in the OnePlus 15 is this display. So it's fully flat now, which obviously is one thing I like, but then there's the bezels. They're super thin, perfectly symmetrical, easily some of the thinnest bezels we have seen on any phone. And this is a 6.78-inch LTPO AMOLED, and this is the first 1.5K 165Hz display we have seen. And yes, it's insanely smooth, and I know it's not 2K now, but the max resolution you can get with 165Hz is 1.5K, so OnePlus went with that, and honestly, it's still a beautiful display. I mean, you don't notice a difference from 2K to 1.5K. There's 10-bit colors, HDR10+, Dolby Vision in Netflix, and I was watching Extraction 2 on Netflix the other day, and the colors, the HDR here is just much better when compared to the OnePlus 13. This also has up to 1800 nits brightness outdoors and actually gets a lot brighter compared to the OnePlus 13, which is again something I wasn't expecting. And it can even drop as low as 1 nit when you want it in low light. There's also PWM dimming. This has Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front. So overall, a better display than the OnePlus 13, even though the resolution has decreased. Even the speakers are better than the OnePlus 13. These get very loud, clean, and actually balanced and more symmetrical. The 13 always sounded a bit one-sided, and this fixes that. Now, the biggest upgrade this year is the performance. This is the first phone in India with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Yeah, they beat iQOO and Realme. And it comes in two variants, and you get the LPDDR5X Ultra RAM on the base, a slightly faster Ultra Plus on the 16GB variant. Storage is UFS 4.1 on both, so fastest all around you can get right now. And this time there's actually a triple chip setup. So Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 with the OP Gaming Core, which is their new chip level technology to suck out every bit of performance and efficiency from the CPU and the GPU. You also get two extra chips, one to boost touch response, another to keep your Wi-Fi connection rock solid. It's also using a 3-layer cooling system with an aerogel layer in the front so the display doesn't heat while gaming, a bigger vapor chamber, and a graphite plate on the back. So yeah, they've thrown in pretty much everything you want for killer performance, but how is it in reality? See, in benchmarks, Geekbench scores over 3400 in single core, over 10,000 in multi-core, 78% stability in 3D mark, pretty top of the line everything. And that brings me to the excellent gaming I did on this phone. Not me, not the skills, this phone. Get it? So first up, yes, you can do 165Hz gaming on this. I mean, there is native 165 FPS support in games like COD Mobile, and we consistently got 164 to 165 FPS in every single match, and the gameplay was insanely smooth. Something like Brawl Stars also supports 165Hz gaming, and the gaming is again insanely good. Now, we also played all of the popular games. BGMI runs at 120 FPS, and the performance is as good as it gets. So in 30 minutes of BGMI, we got an average of 121 FPS with 100% smoothness. And again in Genshin at max settings, 121 average FPS with 99.9% smoothness. I mean, they could have done better, 0.1. And even in the more heavier Wuthering Waves, we got an average FPS of 61 in the highest possible settings. And all of this was back to back, but no, the phone didn't overheat or anything. It was actually much cooler, which is great because we did notice the phone running a bit warm in benchmarks. And there's also a lot of gaming features. You get the good old bypass charging, ultra touch response, hyper frame rate, all of that. And yes, you can run something like BGMI at 165 FPS using the frame interpolation feature, so that's good. I mean, if you ask me, this is like a all games maxed out kind of phone, and it's not just gaming. This is fast with pretty much everything, just like me. I mean, the animations are smooth, apps open super quick, games are at the highest settings at higher refresh rates without slowing down or dropping a lot in terms of battery. Yeah, this is a 10 on 10 in terms of performance. But time for the ultimate spicy part, the most controversial change in the OnePlus 15, the cameras. Okay, so this one's got a triple 50MP camera setup. The main camera is Sony IMX906, but the sensor and aperture are both smaller than last year. And then there's a 3.5x zoom lens that zooms a bit more than the OnePlus 13, but again, smaller sensor, smaller aperture. And then there's the 50MP ultra wide, which is the same story, smaller sensor and a tighter field of view. And yeah, Hasselblad is gone. And I know that sounds kind of bad, right? Even I thought so. But I don't know if it's the new self-developed Detail Max engine or if OnePlus really learned from their Hasselblad partnership. It's actually doing better than I expected. I mean, to be honest, I had mixed feelings considering the hardware downgrades, but after testing it, my perception has kind of changed. See, what we noticed with the OnePlus 15 is that it clicks really nice photos overall, great dynamic range, really nice colors, good white balance. Photos look clean and eye-pleasing. And we compared the OnePlus 15 versus the 13, and the results were kind of surprising. I mean, daytime shots, it was the OnePlus 15 photos with a more natural tone, more contrasty look and better exposure control. The 13 clicks warmer shots, and yes, sometimes it had better detail, but I think most people here would prefer the 15's punchy look. In low light, the 15 boosts the ISO a lot of times because of the smaller sensor, but in a few pictures, it actually pulled out more details in shadows and handled lights better. And this was a surprise to a point. I felt if the OnePlus 15 is clicking better photos or the 13 is. In zoom shots, 15 gives you more color and contrast, while 13 looks kind of flatter. In low light zoom shots, the 13 is a bit sharper overall, but like we saw with the main camera, 15 sometimes gives you more detail in the darker areas. Now in terms of portraits, 13 keeps more details on the face, while 15 sometimes smoothens things a bit. But honestly, I like the skin tones and lighting more on the 15, it just looks nicer. And yes, these are 85mm portraits by the way. And for selfies, both have a 32MP camera and very similar level of detail. And again, I just like the skin tones on the 15 more, even though it brightens the face a little. In videos, both can do 8K 30fps and 4K 60fps on all lenses, but the OnePlus 15 takes an edge here. It is the first phone in India with 4K 120fps HDR video recording support and even supports log videos with LUT filters from main and zoom cameras. The 13 can't do that. Now 4K videos look very different on both. 15 looks more contrasty, punchy, just has more depth. So overall, the camera hardware might not be an upgrade, but OnePlus has seriously done a good job with the optimization, the Detail Max engine, and yes, it'll be interesting to see how it compares against the upcoming competition. Now the 15 is running the latest Oxygen OS 16 out of the box based on Android 16. It's all clean and you get smoother animations, resizable and way better widgets, a bunch of new lock screen options, a lot of AI tools like AI Writer, Portrait, Glow, all of those things. And we've already done a video on the Oxygen OS 16 update, so check it out after you're done here. Now as for updates, it's the same 4 years of major updates with 6 years of security patches. So this is the OnePlus 15 and this has pretty much everything you expect from a flagship phone. A more controversial yet more practical design, a lower resolution but higher refresh rate display that's actually better compared to the OnePlus 13's display. It's got better speakers, stronger gaming performance, killer battery life, faster charging, and yeah, cameras that don't disappoint even after the controversial changes. And what this is where it clicks. With the OnePlus 15, it's clear that OnePlus is changing things up. It feels like they're going back to what they were doing best, pure performance flagships. Now as for the price, the OnePlus 15 starts at ₹68,999 with the bank discount. So yes, I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think of the OnePlus 15 at this price? Comment down below. And hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. See you. Sayonara.